Hey y'all, how's it going? I just thought I'd jump on real quick and talk a little bit about the 31-day journaling challenge that I'm starting tomorrow. I'd love for y'all to join me. I started a Facebook group, so if you want to jump on there, we can share entries if you want, if you're comfortable with that, or it can just be for accountability for getting the journaling done. Or anything health related if you want. I mean, it fits with the topic, right? I just wanted to do a real quick introduction as to what I'm doing with this challenge, what to expect. Again, it's 31 days, so every day in March we'll go through a specific prompt. I will give you a prompt that you will then journal about. There are several different types of journaling. There's art journaling, gratitude journaling, stream of consciousness journaling, which is what a lot of people do for morning pages. And this is essentially just journaling via prompts. I would encourage you to add gratitude into that so that you can have a little bit of gratitude journaling as well, because that helps with your mental health and your outlook as well. So, yeah. Do you need any equipment, tools to do this? I would recommend you do it by hand. Get a pen, pencil that you like. Find yourself a notebook that you can use, or you can just use a spiral notebook if you want. If you're into digital journaling or e-paper type things, you can use an iPad. You can type it if you want to, but I find that it seems to be better if you write it down. If you're able to put your thoughts on paper, things stick better. You're able to think through things better than if you just type it out. There's something about the motor skill connection with the pen moving across paper that helps with memory. So what are some of the benefits of journaling? Well, again, you can improve memory because you're writing about the experience you had or the conversation you had, which will then help to solidify it a little bit more in your brain. You can get clarity and gain clarity by thinking through on paper what's in your mind. Sometimes thoughts that we have look very different on paper than they do if they're just rolling around in our minds. You can gain self-awareness over time. The longer you journal, the more you become aware of different patterns you're doing, different thoughts you've had. Maybe you notice every time you spend time with one specific friend, you feel very energized and happy and can't wait to see them again. And maybe you notice when you spend time with a certain coworker, you feel drained and don't really want to be around that person very often. Of course, usually you would know that pretty quickly. You wouldn't have to journal about it, but just examples. So from our perspective for weight loss and health, why journal? Well, there's a couple of things. First of all, it helps you to sleep better. If you can go through and journal out your thoughts, it helps you to get those thoughts out of your mind, so you're not just laying in bed going over and over and over again what they call open loops in your head. If you write it down, you close that loop and you can come back to it whenever you're ready. And as we all know, sleep is extremely important when it comes to health. You can see an increase in blood sugar and an insulin resistance based on just having poor health. Having poor sleep. One of the other things that they kind of go hand in hand, a couple of the other things that are benefits from journaling and why I want to do this in relation to health and weight loss, is it can have mental health benefits and help with healing and closure. So studies have shown that you can have reduced symptoms of depression, anxiety, PTSD by having an outlet for self-expression to be able to work through the experiences that you may not want to talk about, but you can write it out in your journals. Same thing with processing through grief and trauma. it gives you an outlet to do that. There's a book called When the Body Says No by Gabor Mate. It's extremely interesting. It's about the mind-body connection and how he's run studies and seen connections between people who are people pleasers and never say no to somebody, and they're always putting other people first before them, how they come down with very similar ailments, and how just not dealing with certain things for yourself, constantly go, your body will eventually say no and knock you on your butt in some way, shape, or form. So it's just interesting to see the mind-body connection that he has there. So that's why I'm doing this. And one of the other big bonuses is it keeps the goal of weight loss and health front and center every day, because you're going to be journaling every day. Whereas if you're like me, you could write down that you have a goal of doing XYZ for your health, and then you just kind of forget about it because you wrote it down and you don't really look back at it. So as you're journaling with your prompts, you can also talk about how you're making changes to help with certain things during the day. Maybe, hey, this week I did more steps and I feel great, stuff like that. And again, I would love to have people to cheer on. I would love to have people kind of keep me accountable. So join me here, join me in the Facebook group, and let's do this. We'll see you tomorrow with the first prompt.